Ship number 1 is the Execution, appropriately named, piloted by Finks. We have short side, we have a Hwacha and Carronade. Long side, we have Hwacha, Flak, and Gat on that side, as well as on the back we have a flare gun. Ship number 2 is also a galleon. It is the Libtac, piloted by Luosi. We have a short side. Here we go. Short side is the Caro Hwacha. Long side is the Lumber and Flak with Hades. And on the back, a beacon flare gun. Take it away.
For the third ship, we got the Victor, piloted by Sunstream. It's a meta-median with Banshee and flare in the back. And fourth ship, piloted by Solidus, top of the Tequila galleon with the two. Well, it's my ship. It's 4 Hwachas with the Gatlin and the flare in the back.
And quad Hwacha galleons are very deadly on a map like this if you can get the disables in. Of course, you need that extra little something to break down hull, but once that hull's broken, it's pretty much GG. As the Hwachas are starting to fly at this point, Execution basically drawing first blood on the Hwachas. They get the first shot in. We've got a hull break on the Tequila and a hull break on the Execution. Let's take it to bird's eye view right here. Execution may be first blood.
This was a good engagement. It was a bit risky on Solidus' side, but he did draw the fire, got himself disabled, but he did draw the fire for the Metavidian to come in and finish the job. They were both kind of squeezed in a corner, so it did give them not much time and maneuverability to get their guns as well. Correct. And it seems like they're going to be 2-1.
Well done. Well done. I will say this. Remember the first match was 5-0 in favor of Storm Riders. Dmitrij's Angels has absolutely cleaned up whatever was troubling them in the first match, taking a very quick 2-0 lead, getting first blood. Very nicely done.
I mean, I would, from my experience, I'd blame the Sun to carry for this. He's gotten back, he's woken up, he was like, oh shit, I need to be in SCS. He got his team together, he got his crap together, and now they're at full strength, I'd say. Especially with a Hwacha gun that never hurts on your team. And Solidus is a very good galleon captain, so I believe this isn't going to be a one-sided match. I believe the Ryders, as soon as they got themselves set up in a bit more open area, as we can see at the moment, they will most likely be able to bring the next engagement in their favor. But we will see. Time will tell.
I would definitely agree with that. I think I would fully expect the Ryder side to clean up what happened on that first engagement. That was just like a perfect storm right there for the Dmitrij's Angels, doing a very good job basically shoving one galleon in front of the other galleon, doing a nice job with the shielding there for their Pyramidian to come in, as you mentioned. It was basically a nearly perfect engagement by the blue side. Let's see if Ryder can clean that up on the next engagement. Right now, a lot of
last engagement, a lot of health went down from the Tequila. They lost. I mean, they are about on a fourth, maybe a bit more of health. If they would have timed it a tiny bit better, it could have stayed half health, and they would have had a bit more chances in the next engagement. In this engagement, it's going to be a bit hard, especially with those lumbers and of course, them being galleons, having Hwachas, Gatlings, and all sorts of weapons in all different directions. It's going to be very hard. Libtac is actually using a buff kit on bottom deck, I believe. So that's going to add to extra damage, especially when it comes to broken hull or balloon popping on the flak and lumberjack.
Indeed, he is using a buff kit downstairs. He's going with Mallet Spanner buff kit. So it looks like, yeah, that extra damage could definitely come in handy here, as the Tequila appears to be the target of both red ships here, and rightfully so, as Tequila taking not a great angle into the gap here. It looks like he might get away. He does have a broken balloon, but I believe he will get away here. Yes, he will get away.
Yeah, there's a couple of bumps here and there, but that's natural for a galleon on this kind of map. Happens to the best of us, obviously. I'd like to also mention that Multi-SM on board the Tequila has also what is it, a Mallet Spanner buff kit. So these guys are are betting all their horses on not taking fire damage, not having the guns on fire.
Well, they most likely will
You know,
have. They most likely will have an engineer assigned to downstairs. In fact, look at if you look at Vias downstairs, Vias is the downstairs engineer with an extinguisher. So it looks like he's going to be taking care of, say, your turning engines and maintenance of the watches here. So I don't think the fires will be a problem here. As the Victor getting a little frisky right now, looks like they're going out for spots and staying out of the watch angles for the most part. Oh, wait a minute.
goes.
Wait just a minute. There we go. There's some pops right there, but no hull break. They've got hard cover to work with, so they're okay. However, the action going on the Tequila, that might have been... That disable right there may have opened the door to take out the Tequila. In fact, it may actually get the Tequila kill right here. Indeed it does. 2-1 blue.
I know it's, the Victor is to get out of there before they spot him. I think they already know that he's back there. They
Yeah.
shot flares in that direction. They had an engagement with him just before, so it'll be interesting to see if he manages to, you know,
And if
get
they
out
didn't
of
know
there
before...
without boosting too much health.
If they didn't know before, they found him with that flare that almost directly hit him. So yeah, they definitely know at this point. But yeah, I would have been shocked if they didn't know at that point where he was. Oh, pause called. Hang on. Pause has been called by the blue team. So we'll have about a 2-minute pause here.
It'll be interesting to see also why this just happened. But
Oh, we have a
I'm more
crash.
Intrigued about Tequila. Sorry.
Yeah, someone crashed on the blue side. So
Okay.
we'll just wait for him to reconnect.
Alright, cool. That's very honorable to do, to hold like that. I mean, the whole system of pausing is an honor, a thing of honor, and it's very, very. I don't know. I like it. Anyway, the Tequila has 3 engineers on the galleon. That's interesting because usually you want to have gun arcs, especially on Hawatches. You want to have an advantage with the gun arcs. You want to be able to get the guns on them before you get disabled. But when you have 2 Hawatches, it should work. It should work. It's an interesting idea to have a buff Engie in the bottom tech instead of a gunner, and we'll see how well this turns out. I'll make sure to keep an eye on if he had a gunner, if that would have made a difference at a certain time.
Yeah. And what you're doing here is you're trading the arcs for raw damage. So, and the unpause has been called at this point. Match is back underway here. But what they're doing here is they're going to trade off the arcs for damage. So basically they're putting a little bit more pressure on the pilot to get those arcs before the enemy can get their arcs lined up. So it's really going to, a lot of it's going to come down to, on ship number 4, will Solidus Bucket position himself well? And in fact, here we go. There's a charge coming in right here. Looks like he is not able to do so. However, we have a galleon ram right there on the execution, mostly balloon ram. In fact, it is a balloon ram. Tequila is hull broken.
He's definitely trying to keep them occupied, but
Here comes Pyrrha.
Hell of a lot of hull.
Here comes the Pyrrha. That's a reload on the gat. No hull break right there. Hull break imminent. There's the hull break. He does get... The Victor does actually get into play here. There is the kill, 3-1 blue. So what looked to be like Tequila might have gone down, barely saving it. Basically sacrificing himself for the greater good of blue side. 3-1 blue. Victor doing some work right now, but I gotta say, Tequila doing a lot of lifting right now, taking a lot of damage, really taking advantage of that that galleon hull.
Absolutely. I mean, that is part of the job, of course, this galleon. Wow, what a sandwich he did on an exposed hull, but it doesn't kill him. He is like a percent, not even. Oh my.
Yes,
God,
and that's because the Hwacha
he
came out.
soon for them.
That's because the Hwacha came out from on the lib tack. It took out the mortar, so they could not get that one last mortar in to finish them off. However, they do clean it up there. It is 4-1 blue. And as a reminder, I'm sorry, just as a reminder, blue side does also have the tiebreaker, so red needs to run the table in order to win this match, and for Storm Riders to win SCS 103 without having to go to a second round of the grand final.
Yes, we will have a second round after this due to the being in the winners bracket. They will, if they lose, they will still get one more chance to redeem it. It's basically best of 3. Let's say just that it's best of 2 because they are in the winners bracket and they already have one score. So it'll be interesting seeing how they adapt if they do lose. But back to Solidus's or Tequila's sacrificial charge. Now he didn't even try to get the guns into arc. He tanked, and that is one job of a galleon, to be able to tank and distract the enemies. Problem is now he cannot do the same thing again, so he might opt out for a suicide and proceed out to doing the same tactic as he just did before. But that is only for time to show, as we already said before.
Let's keep an eye on the victor here while the Tequila moves in. Tequila has been spotted. Looks like Tequila is going to be a sacrificial lamb here. Are they going to go for the sacrifice? Let's see if Victor is moving in. Victor is burning in. It looks like they're saying forget that plan. He is burning in. Keep a very close eye on him. You keep an eye on the whole of the Tequila. He's burning those engines in. Is he going to get there in time?
He got himself stuck, the Tequila. Trying to build them, and he loses his engines and is down. It's all going on. Now it's up to Victor to secure the last kill, or of course.
No, I think this is going to be an about face here. This is going to be an about face. Oh no, it's not. He's going to stay in the fight, but with no mortar to follow up, that mortar is down.
Now with the galleon moving into arcs and also the carronade hidden in, this is going to be a very tough. He may still have a chance of getting out, but I think at this point.
Nah, he's dead.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's 4-3 red, 4-3 blue right there. Red picking up both kills in that engagement. Execution only losing a sliver of health there, maybe 5% permahull. Basically, barely a scratch right there as Red picks up 2 kills. Next engagement will most likely decide the match. So as you mentioned before, top of the Tequila did go in there expecting to sacrifice. However, the Victor got their mortar broken and just really could not do anything with that hull break. Alright, looks like blue might have a general idea of where red is. Flare's going out from the red side. I believe Libtac is the one throwing those flares out. In fact, we should have a pretty good idea. Both teams should have a pretty good idea of where each other is, where each other's galleons are. In fact, there go the spots. Top of the Tequila has been spotted. Libtac, I'm sure, will be spotted any second here. And there's the spot right there. Libtac in a reposition. Good job finding hard cover right there. They do not want to be exposed to a lumberjack. Not as a galleon, because you have that huge balloon. You do not want to be parked on a map like this. Flares once again going out, this time by the execution. Trying to maintain vision control of mid. Similar to how wards work, if you are familiar with the concept of a MOBA, how wards grant you vision, flares allow that when it comes to clouds. However, it looks like blue has spotted both red ships here. However, the top of the Tequila has not been spotted yet, so blue may have a bit of an advantage going into the engagement. Let's see if they know where the Victor is. He is over cover right now, so it's possible, but we don't know yet if they've been spotted by red. Looks like they're getting into position. We should have that moment of engagement any moment here. However, Pyramidion may get caught out in the open here. They may get caught out in the open. Let's see if they find him. They found execution, but does the Victor get spotted? Victor has not been spotted yet. However, it looks like perhaps the execution has seen the Victor. They are turning. They have spotted the top of Tequila, so it looks like the engagement is on. Here we go, folks. This may be the last engagement of the round here, as Top of the Tequila going for that Galleon Ram idea here, going to be the Sacrificial Lamb. Keep an eye on the Victor as they appear to be targeting, let's see, who are they going for? Are they going for the Libtac? Yeah, they are going for the Libtac here. Hwacha coming out, well-placed Hwacha, taking out the Gat and the Mortar. Victor is no longer able to secure kills, as now the red side putting Hwacha's putting a beat down on the Victor. Oh, could we see a Goomba here? Goomba on the Pyrrha. No, bad luck there. Galleon Goomba almost happens. Libtac is paying for it, though. Hull broken, but very little follow-up right there. In fact, his ally, the Execution, follows up with a well-placed Hwacha, killing the Victor 4-4. And Tequila now in a bad spot. Can he get away? Or is he going to stay and
That's gonna
fight?
be very tough for him.
Hwacha comes out from the Libtac. He has disabled 3 Hwachas. Actually, all 4 Hwachas have been disabled. The only gun that they have up is the Beacon Flare. There's a flare from the Libtac. 15 stacks on the balloon. Or, excuse me, 15 stacks on the hull. Balloon is down. Yeah, I'm thinking this may be the match right here. Tequila may be parked any second. In fact, let's go ahead and call it right here. That's the match. There it is. The Hwacha, just the formality right there. As Storm Riders comes back from down 4-1 to win SCS 103 5-4 over Dmitrij's Angels.
Well, that was a beautiful game to watch. Unfortunately, the riders kind of must have caught on to the principle of the Galleon being the distraction, it's the soaking of the damage, and decided that it was not the right idea to keep focusing in, even if they had a hull break on him, but instead to try to drop him, like disable him a bit, and then change focus to the pyramid. And that's what we saw in the last engagement, and it seemed to have worked out very well for them.
Indeed, and as our viewers are pointing out here, and I agree with that sentiment, um, the Rider side spaced themselves out a little bit more to have more reaction time against the Dmitrij's Angels, doing a very nice job of basically adjusting to the tactics of Skyborn / Dimitri's Angels. They did a very nice job there. I'm a little surprised that that the Top of the Tequila did not use its Hwachas much more on the approach. However, I understand what they were thinking. A very good tactic, just man, the adjustment just rendered that tactic obsolete. I loved it. That was a good match. That was a really good match and a really good way to close out SCS 103.